Right now, we are going to be chatting about the most anticipated movies of 2024 in our opinions. And we will start by naming one film each. And we will go around the group and just discuss them all.
Can I go
Ladies,
first?
ladies,
Sure. Yeah,
ladies
go for it.
Can
Yeah.
first.
I go?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
I am really excited for Dune Part 2. I love the first one. I also think that the first one's like really misunderstood and that people didn't like it as much as I hoped they would, because it was very divisive when it came out. It's not like everyone unanimously loved it as an epic. I do think that the two parts like hurt it, but the second part, because I read the book, it's like 1,000 pages, and I did that during lockdown. I kept my time that way. But yeah, I think that this second one is really going to show how incredible Zendaya is. If people don't know how incredible Zendaya is, she's going to be even more amazing as Chani in the second part. And seeing Austin Butler in that trailer, seeing Florence Pugh, like these are like young Hollywood stars that are upcoming right now, and we're just so blessed with this cast for Doom Part 2, and I'm really excited to see what Denis has in store for us for that one.
I still don't know what happens. I haven't read the book.
I haven't read the
So
book either. I mean, I've just seen the
Oh,
movie. Yeah.
it's so exciting. I won't spoil it, but it's really good. It's good.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to
Definitely.
what Amanda said, I think a lot of people did really misunderstand this. Like it was always billed as, this part one and part two. And I think a lot of people went into the first part and it does end on a cliffhanger, but it's a part of a bigger story. And I feel like with the second part, it's gonna make people who were split on part one really appreciate the whole story more. Like I haven't read the books either, but I have friends that have, and I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And if this makes bank, there's also another book called Dune Messiah that Denis wants to work on, and I read that as well, and it's even like more crazy than the first one. So yeah, fingers crossed that it does make bank.
I think it will. I mean, I think everyone. I was pretty bummed when it got knocked out of the 2023 calendar, and
yeah, it's been supposed to.
yeah.
What I will say is it's been supposed to come out for a while. So like the trailer, it was like a full-length trailer that played in front of Oppenheimer, and I got emotional just watching the trailer. Like when he says like I'm the Duke of Arrakis, whatever. I'm like, why am I getting so
I
pumped?
know you get
Like,
goosebumps. It's crazy. I
and
know.
I personally love that first movie so much, and I just can't wait to the full story.
Yeah. I love the first movie too, and I do remember seeing it with a friend on opening night. It is a long movie, and then as it was getting close to ending, he just leaned over because he didn't know that they were splitting it up into two movies, and he was like, "Is this about to end?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think it is." And he was like, "I sat through a lot of the movie, and this is where it ends." I was like, "Yeah, dude, there's going to be two parts." And he was just like, he was just very frustrated. But I love the first movie a lot, and I'm really looking forward to it. I got to piggyback off of everything that Amanda said it beautifully because I'm same reasons pretty much.
Yeah.
Just the scope of it, and Denis is a really good director as well. I haven't liked all of his films. I'm just really looking forward to how they kind of interpret all of it. And it looks like it's more action driven than the first one, so that'll be good too. For those people like my friend who was bored while watching the first movie. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. That's definitely on my list as well.
So I'd like to talk about a little movie. It's an independent movie with no named actors. It's called The Fall Guy.
The Fall
Yeah. I'm hyped too.
The reason this is like on my top 5 anticipated is, first of all, there's a cast here who I hope I'm not alone with saying like Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors, period. And just anything he does, he's kind of gotten into this phase where he's just having fun, and it's lovely to see. And a lot of the time, like when they invest this much into a big action movie theaters, it's usually connected to some franchise. And even though this is based on a show, it's still like, I guess, not something that is like Ghostbusters or Dune. That's something that's already been prominent in the culture for a while. So I'm just excited to see something fresh. And David Leitch, in my opinion, Bullet Train really delivered. And you got Emily Blunt and Stephanie Shu, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, Winston Duke looks like a blast in this movie. And It just looks like Ryan Gosling playing a super enjoyable character, but also them going all out with the action scenes and the comedy, um, and not taking itself seriously, but really just investing
Yeah.
in making a big theatrical scale. And if it delivers, I think it'll be an absolutely awesome time.
Yeah, I mean, Bullet Train felt like almost like a product of a bygone era. Like like watching that in theaters, I was like, man, like movies don't just have to be big. Like you want them to be fun too. And Bullet Train was just such a fun big screen experience. And I'm thinking Fall Guy is going to deliver in the same kind of line as that.
Yeah. I feel like it's along the lines of his performance in The Nice Guys. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I love it so much. I think he's great. I think everyone is spot on with this. Every time I see the trailer, I'm like, yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm gonna watch it. So I'm excited. Yeah.
I'm also here for the Ryan Gosling having fun era as well, because it
Yeah.
seems like he really is. It seems like he really is. Like, I love when actors like him like suddenly aren't kind of like self-serious anymore. I don't think he really was in particular, but like it's nice to see people like him like having a good time, and it seems like he's choosing stuff that is
Yeah.
just fun for him to do at this point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Looks really fun.
Yeah, I mean, he had the brooding, moody era with like Drive and Place Beyond the Pines, and it's nice to see him kind of
Yeah.
letting loose now and having a lot of fun with some of these roles.
Yeah, that cheery movie, Blue Valentine.
That's like a feel good movie. Great
Feel good movie.
Great date movie.
Great date movie. I'm gonna also kind of hop on the Zendaya train a bit, but I'm gonna go with Challengers. I was really looking forward to it when it had that September release date. I think that was one of the first casualties of the strike that they pushed back to this year. It just that trailer was just great, and I thought it sold the movie really well. And I love seeing what she's doing as an actress. Like I love Euphoria, and like so I like watching her kind of like grow and grow and grow has been like kind of a joy to watch her kind of evolve and mature as an actress. And this looks like something that kind of showcases that as well. My when I was talking to my friend about it, and he saw the trailer for it, and he couldn't remember the name of it, and he was like, "Is that like the sexy like threesome tennis movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, that one." And he's like, "Yeah, that looks great," but no, it just looks like it's like layers. Looks really good, and I'm excited for it. I was super bummed. You know, 2 Zendaya movies in 2023 got pushed back, and 2 of them are on my list for most anticipated 2024. So at least we get them now.
My dad's a huge tennis guy, and I went with him to King Richard. Should I take him to Challengers also?
No.
It's gonna be a
No.
different kind of tennis movie.
No.
Yeah,
It's like watching it's like watching
Wild
Saltburn or like Poor Things with your parents. It's not a flex. Like just don't.
I told someone today, don't go with your mom to Poor Things.
Yeah,
actually.
just don't do it. Don't do it.
By the way, did y'all like Bones and all, Luca's last
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but it was it stuck with me for a really long time after I watched it. And I feel like as time has gone on, I've kind of appreciated it a little bit more. He's a very interesting, interesting kind of provocative filmmaker, and I'm here for it. So I'm excited for Challengers too as well.
Yeah, me too.
We're all in agreement on these. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the curveball though.
I think I'm gonna have the one. That's gonna be me. I'll probably have 2. No, me.
All I'll add is that Mike Feist, who's in this movie, is really understated in West Side Story. I thought it was absolutely terrific.
Yeah,
it was. I
so
think it was my
good.
favorite part of that movie. It was so good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just had no idea who he was before, and I rewatched that movie recently because one of my favorites the last 2 years, and he's like heartbreaking in it too. So I can't wait to see him do more things.
I am super excited for Maxine.
Maxine.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I forgot to write that down. Damn it.
I'm a huge horror junkie. X was one of my favorites of what was it 2022? Yeah, 2022. Pearl I really liked as well as a kind of surprise prequel that came out of nowhere. I'm really excited to see what Ty West does next and how he kind of caps off this trilogy. And well, I think we're all here for Mia Goth.
Yeah.
So
Hell
good.
yeah.
So
So good.
good.
That 7-minute like monologue was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, I
Oh my
love
God.
her.
Yeah.
It was so
I
good.
like X was such a pleasant surprise because I was like, I went in not knowing too much. Like I was expecting like a fun, upbeat horror movie, something like Scream or Fresh, but it was actually like genuinely horrifying. Like I was at a 10:30 p.m. showing,
Yeah.
and I was just like at the verge of like screaming from how terrifying it was. So terrific horror movie. Pearl was good too. So this one I think is going to be unpredictable and awesome as well.
Yeah, I really like the way that Ty West plays with genres. Like, if you look at X, the first half of that movie is entirely different, and you even have like the characters having a conversation. They're like, you can't just change genres like that, and then like middle of the movie it flips and it becomes
Yeah.
like this gruesome slasher movie. And I think that was so much fun and such a good choice.
I agree. 100%.
Who do you have? Like Elizabeth Debicki's in this movie, Giancarlo Esposito, Kevin Bacon.
Halsey.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
forgot. Oh my
Halsey
God.
was good in Sing too. Changed my mind.
She was good.
Change my mind.
Change my mind.
I'm gonna go with Civil War.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Agreed.
Alex Garland, he's the man. He's made so many amazing movies, and I'm the cast. I'm actually really interested to see their dynamic. Kristen Dunst and Jesse Plemons. Considering they're a couple, that's a cool dynamic.
I like that they do so many projects together. Like they've
Yeah.
done a
I
lot of
know.
stuff together.
It is.
I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah.
They got nominated together for the first time. at the
Together,
Oscars,
yeah.
too.
True love.
Yeah, Civil War, definitely one that I'm really interested in. I've been following Alex Garland's work for a while, and he just always blows me away. So this is definitely one that I'm interested in. And this one here, it's interesting. Civil War, U.S. Civil War. I feel like it hits not for us, but like the U.S. really close to home. With
Yeah.
the recent
Jeez.
Gaius, like, you're from the US, right?
Yeah.
Daniel,
Yeah, like, man,
Yeah.
there's so much conflict in the US, and like it's
yeah.
nuts. So this is going to be interesting to see how this the reaction from the general public, for sure.
I put that trailer on my TikTok page, and then I went away for like 2 hours, and all of a sudden there was like 800 comments. I was like, ooh, and I went to go read them, and I was like, oh, never mind. It was like, yikes. It was like, I didn't get too
Well, we
far deep
learned
before they
something
got
from this movie.
It's
Or they
just
gotta-
asking
they gotta
for a
fit-
divide.
Yeah,
No, but
it
it's
was
like-
all kinds of divide in those comments. I was like, yeah, I'm tapping out.
I will say
Also-
I've been like
No, go ahead.
I've been like I've been one of the biggest Alex Garland fans. Ex Machina was great. And loved Annihilation, loved Men. I know that might be unpopular, but loved that. Devs was great. His miniseries also has Kaylee Spaney and Stephen McKinley Henderson, who are in this one. So yeah, Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, you got in this one. Nick Offerman, who's also in Devs. But it seems very much like, I was talking to Ben about this actually, like one of A24's most blockbustery movies ever. They're even
It does look like that,
releasing
yeah.
it directly
Yeah.
in IMAX.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest budget too.
But I'm really interested just because I love the guy, like, and I love that whether A24 or formerly Paramount, I guess, but A24 now is just giving him like as much money as he needs to make something really spectacular and unpredictable. Like I feel like those other movies that he directed, we sort of went into the theater not knowing what was gonna come, and I love theater experiences like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone forgot about Men, as they should, or else.
Oh.
You know what? I liked it.
I get it
and,
though. I get it.
And I actually liked it. I'm like, oh damn, like Alex is back. It's gonna be awesome. And I enjoyed it. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, but what did he want to do with this? And it just confused me. But yeah, I remember watching Annihilation for the first time in a theater. It was completely empty, and I adore sci-fi, so that
Mine was
one really
full.
tripped me out. So I think I did a pre-screening at like 3 in the morning. Oh my God, 3 in the afternoon. I was like, not 3 in the
I was
morning.
just about to
I
say
was
that's
like,
crazy.
"Whoa, no. But
she was like super excited for the movie.
yeah, I was
Like,
so excited for Alex Garland. But yeah, he's really promising, and I'm like, this trailer alone just got me really hyped. So it looks fun. I'm excited. So you guys had a couple had challengers on here. I have here, let's see. I have the bike riders, which also got moved from last
Yeah.
year to this year.
I
It
saw
comes
it last
out.
year. Yeah.
Oh, you
I
saw
saw it
it?
I've
early. I
heard
was
good
so
things
excited.
from
I
people
was
who
so
saw
excited
it.
for other people to see it, and then they were like, "Oh, we're pulling from the calendar." I'm like, well,
Oh my
I'll just
God,
enjoy this little thing, right?
you have to hold it to your chest until like
I
June.
know.
That's crazy,
I
man.
know. Like, just me and the bike
Oh, that
riders.
sucks. But yeah, I saw that trailer. I mean, Austin Butler is easily becoming one of my favorite young actors right now. He's killing it. And I just love seeing Tom Hardy all the time. I think he's such a great character actor as well. And
Yeah.
he can pull things out of his butt, and like these weird accents and weird characters. So I love that from him. It looks great. It looks interesting. I just hope that it does well because it is coming out in June, I think June 17th, like that.
Busy
Um,
time of year.
yeah,
Of
so I'm kind of
course.
nervous about that, but I think Austin Butler can bring in the people. So yeah, I'm really stoked for that one.
I just think Jodie Comer is also just magnificent.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
so
I saw her in
good.
The
But
Last Duel.
She is
yes.
amazing in it too.
If you haven't watched The Last Duel, please, for the love of God, watch The Last Duel because it's so good.
It was so
But
good.
they made her
Also
So good in
look
that.
absolutely terrible in The Bike Riders. And I'm like, why would you do that to such a stunning person? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that.
All right. I'm going with Argyle. I'm
Argyle.
really
Okay.
excited for this one. It's coming out in a couple weeks now. But I'm really hyped for it because first of all, Matthew Vaughn has my support. Kick Ass, the first one is awesome. Kingsman was pretty great, even though I didn't care for the last, which was his most recent movie, The King's Man. I didn't like very much, but I hope that was like a one-time dud for him because this one looks pretty original. It's sort of like the adaptation for spy movies where it's taking a real life book and author and making them like the character and like making untrue things happen to them. Um, but honestly, anything Sam Rockwell is in and anything Ariana DeBose is in, and also Henry Cavill, just Matthew Vaughn said we needed to get someone who was perfect for Bond and nag him before Bond did. And so Henry Cavill seems like the perfect spy guy. You got John Cena. It just looks like a really fun movie, and if it has that Matthew Vaughn energy, I think it'll deliver the price of admission.
Yeah, even when his movies aren't great, he knows how to have fun and put together a good ensemble. And I'm thinking this could be a lot of fun. And also Henry Cavill's hair. I'm here for that haircut.
Here for it as well.
They massacred my boy. No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's its own star at this point.
Yeah, at that point. I'm so like not looking forward to Argyle. I feel so bad saying that. And it's just because I'm really upset that we haven't gotten a third Kingsman movie with Taron Egerton, that I'm sitting here like, you're wasting your time making Argyle when you could have made something with Kingsman, but that's just my own personal beef with with him. But yeah, hopefully
He'll
this
be
is
back.
good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he will be. I'm like, I
It's in
hope
the works.
yeah, it
I
is in
know
the works.
I'm in the minority here. I really enjoyed the second Kingsman. I haven't seen the Kingsman, like I haven't seen the
I liked
prequel
it a
yet,
lot
but
too. I really liked
enjoy
it.
I enjoyed the second one. I know it wasn't well reviewed. A lot of people didn't like
Yeah.
it. I liked it just as much as like the first one. I had a lot of fun with it.
I thought the prequel wasn't very good though, but I like the second one a lot.
The prequel was rough, I have to admit. Yeah, as much as like
Yeah.
I enjoyed being back in that world, and I think Ray Fiennes was killer, it just, I don't know, it seemed off. Yeah.
The prequel was rough, and I feel like I saw that trailer before it came out so much that I already feel like I
It was
watched the movie
delayed a
by the
whole
time I
2
saw
years.
it.
Like,
I know.
by the time we had a theatrical trailer,
I know.
that like they
By
showed
the
it
time-
the whole movie.
Yeah, by the time I saw it, I was
But
like, I think I
listen,
saw it already.
but since Sam Rockwell is like the main spy in like the real world events, I just think bro is like a super like charming and awesome actor that he can like bring the fun to everything he does.
I'm gonna go with Deadpool 3, which I guess is now the only MCU movie on the calendar.
Yeah.
I know that the MCU's kind of had like a rough going of it, especially last year too. But I think this one can pull people back in if they were kind of falling off a bit. I'm just looking forward to see how they integrate Deadpool into the MCU. I love the first two movies. I'm stoked that Hugh Jackman will be back as Wolverine. I'm going to see what they do with that. And I'm also here for whatever other rumored X-Men cameos that might be in it. I don't know. I'm really intrigued by what they're going to do with it. I just hope that it lives up to those expectations. I think a lot of people are looking forward to it and kind of look at it as like, hey, I think, Marvel's did me kind of dirty recently, and this might get me back. So they hope that it will, and I'm hoping for the same as well.
I feel the exact same way. I'm very excited for it. People are shitting on it, but I'm like, you know what? If anyone can do a multiverse storyline and make it fun and not boring or confusing, it's going to be Deadpool 3. That's it.
Yeah.
And everyone knows how against I am of these stupid multiverse storylines now that like nothing's connecting or making sense anymore in the phases. So I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be Deadpool or bust at this point because I can't deal with anything else. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be messy and not make any sense, it might as well be a damn fun time. And I think pull that off.
Yeah.
I do have I agree with everything you guys said, that like despite whatever concerns people have, I'm looking forward to it. I do have one beef with this movie though, is why are we getting Jennifer Garner back as Elektra, but not Zazie Beetz back from the last movie? Like literally everyone is coming back, like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, so on, so on. Where is Zazie?
That's a good question.
Was she busy?
Maybe she didn't want to come back.
Was she doing? Was she doing another? Oh, that'd be. Oh, wow. I mean, she looked like she had fun doing the other one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually the Jennifer Garner thing is funny because
Emma
I was
Corrin.
like, she was the only thing I enjoyed about that Daredevil movie from back in the day. So I was like, yeah, bring her back. That's cool. I'm fine with that.
Oh, and Matthew McFadden is gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Yo, that's gonna be crazy.
The fact that it's the only MCU movie this year is interesting for a few reasons. One being that Marvel has pushed some projects due to public backlash for there being too much content. Other movies they've rewritten, they're rewriting. So the fact that it's the only movie is interesting because I feel like it may also be on purpose because of events happening in the film and it causing a ripple effect in other, upcoming titles.
Definitely.
So,
yeah,
interesting that it's the only one. It's the first time in a decade that it's been the only Marvel movie. So,
and I think this is a much needed reset, a much needed breather for us because it's just, I don't know, even when they're good, it's not exciting when Marvel stuff comes out now because there's just so much of it. You're expecting it. So it'd be nice to only get one and have to actually wait and be able to build anticipation for once in like a decade and a half.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think even when they're good too, like you kind of forget that they're good. Like I mentioned Guardians to a friend the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that was good," but like it gets lumped in with all the not so good stuff that you even kind of forget because there was like so much.
Guardians went hard. Guardians went.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah, amazing. But yeah, it just got buried in a mountain of MCU stuff, and it'll be nice for them to space it out at least for a little while.
But to paraphrase Syndrome from The Incredibles, when everything is super, nothing is super, and that's what we sort of experienced with all this like barrage of MCU stuff coming. Like we went from we had 9 different movies and shows combined in 2021. 2022 might have also been the same. This year maybe a little less, but still a lot.
It makes it less special. It's kind of it becomes more of the same, and it's not you don't really anticipate anymore. I think the whole Disney Plus TV show thing is what really kind of made that worse, because then I think people think that all right, do I have to watch this in order to go see this movie, and will I understand what's going on if I didn't watch said show? And I think that kind of turns some people off as well. You end up oversaturating the market a bit, and I think that's what they did
Well, look at what they did with like WandaVision and the second Doctor Strange. Like, if you didn't watch WandaVision, like the whole which story of Doctor Strange, you'd be like, what the hell's going on?
You're like, what's wrong with her?
Why is she so mad?
Yeah, so
But
true.
that's
Same
what
with the
like
Marvels.
yeah, I mean that
Mm.
connective tissue just doesn't do anything anymore because you're technically not building it into anything else other than the next film. Like it's not like an Infinity Saga case here. And I think that's
Yeah.
been the main issue is that sure you bring Kang in for Loki, but then you don't talk about anything that happens in Loki and other projects. You don't talk about the timelines in other projects. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And sure we had Kang in Quantumania, but it still felt so contained that like Ant-Man's the only person that knows about Kang in the actual universe at this point. So it's like
Yeah.
he's
That
still
was
not
so
going to
weird
tell
tonally
anybody.
for an Ant-Man movie.
Right?
To make it
And
suddenly like gravely serious and all that.
I
Yeah.
love Ant-Man. Ant-Man's like my favorite. And I know people don't like him, but it just ruined it so much. It ruined it. I'm so upset.
I am gonna say Nosferatu.
Oh
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Eggers, I think of the new and like kind of up, I don't want to say up and coming because he's making movies for a while, but like of all these directors that have made like 2 or 3 movies, I find he's been kind of one of the most consistent ones with how much I love his projects. So I'm really excited for this one.
I'm so stoked. I really am. I love the Northman. So going into this
too.
with the cast especially, it just sucks that it's coming out in December. Like
I know
why
it's a long way. It's a long way.
Let's
Very
wait the
long
whole
way.
year. I'm like, what are you doing? Drop it in October or something, not December. We're gonna
Is
have
it
like a
what
Christmas
Nicholas
horror.
Holt is the lead? Am I wrong?
Is it
No,
Nicholas?
Yeah, Nicholas
yeah,
Holt,
he's-
Yeah.
Aaron
And
Taylor
Anya.
Johnson.
Nicholas
Yeah.
Holt has a thing with vampires recently.
I know. He's playing cast in vampire movies from
So this
now
one's
on.
gonna be better. Don't worry, but
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I think it's interesting that this is a December release, like right on Christmas Day. Like nothing says Christmas Day like Nosferatu. So,
Of course.
yeah, but I hate having to wait that long for it. I agree. That's a
I know. I'm gonna throw a curveball. You guys are gonna get
Uh.
mad at this one, but I am a Sony girly through and through. And apart from Madam Web, apart from Craven the Hunter, I am very excited for Venom 3 because I love him as a character. I think Venom is amazing. He's a lot of fun. I love the duo of him and Tom Hardy. I think the voices going back and forth. I think the relationship is really solid. I have a lot of fun with these movies. They're not good, but guess what? They're fun and I enjoy them. So I have been a Venom supporter since day one. That thing broke bank. The first one did extremely well and surprised so many people in that, I believe, November slot there. The second one didn't do too well. It wasn't that good either, but I still had fun seeing Carnage on screen. I was like waiting almost like 10, 12 years for Carnage. So that was awesome to see that. But I'm really excited for this one. I have no idea what they're doing with Venom 3. No idea. Tom Hardy has been keeping that on lock. Kind of nervous, but I love everything he does. And he cares about this character so much that he just made Eddie Brock his own. And I really love it.
when you said Sony, I thought you were gonna say Garfield movie.
No,
no.
no
I knew it
more.
was gonna be one of the 3 Sonyverse movies. I was like, oh,
I
well,
had
that one's
to. I had to do it.
I didn't hate Venom. I mean, not as much as like critics hated Venom. I didn't love it,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was fun in the moment. It was like one of those things. Like when I watched it, it was fine in the moment. It didn't like stay with me or anything, but it was fine when I
Yeah.
saw it. And the second, I kind of felt that same way about the second one. Like I didn't love it either, but it was fine,
Mm.
entertaining in the moment, and then I
Yeah.
moved on from it. But I agree, Tom Hardy's great in it. I love the work that he
So
does in
fun.
it. You can tell that he's having like a lot of fun doing it, and like really
Yeah.
throwing himself into it completely. So there's
Yeah.
things I like respect about it. I also respect that you threw it in as a curveball. You're like I love how you also
Thanks.
said like it's
I
not
love
good.
it.
They're not good, but
It's not good.
but they're fun. But they're
Yeah,
fun.
exactly. Sometimes you just need the fun ones that are mindless, and this is one
Yeah.
of them. So yeah.
Agree.
I don't get how Sony has a couple titles coming out this year that are still untitled. This being one of them. Untitled.
Oh,
If you
they
look
don't
it
have.
up, it says
Yeah,
Untitled Venom sequel. If you look up Bad Boys, it's Untitled Bad Boys sequel.
I mean, it's the
that's
movie.
weird.
Like, at
It
least they
makes
have the movie announced. It's not just like untitled Sony movie and you don't know who the character is.
Yeah, like it's
it,
really
it's
Um,
more so for like the
But I'm
marketing
gonna
purpose
be
behind it.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
probably start like because if Venom, I believe it's in
probably
what,
in May.
November,
November.
October, November again. Time's less smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably start in May, like you said. Yeah, for sure. So
I'm
it'd
gonna
be
be the party pooper here.
No.
Venom, the first one was such a disappointment. I thought the second one was terrible. If this is more of the same, then I'm sorry, but I don't
breaks my
really feel
heart.
that much hype for it.
Sadness.
You know what's funny is that
Sorry,
she's not
Amanda.
like she's like completely disagree with you. She's like they're not good, but you know.
It's like
it
I
is
have
what
fun.
it is.
It's like I'm excited. You don't have to be more for me to go buy tickets.
I do remember being surprised that the first one made so much money. Like, it made that much money considering like how bad the reviews were, but you could tell like it just seemed like
Yeah.
everyone just ignored that and just had fun with it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I was
think
actually almost
from
like happy that happened to that movie too. I was like, yeah, I mean,
right.
ignore them. Yeah, go ahead if you enjoy it, rock with it.
Exactly. My thing is that the Sony verse has always done something different. They're going against the grain. They're not necessarily good, but I value like studios that actually take risks with their films. And Sony's been doing that. Even picking up The Woman King last year was absolutely like incredible to me because that was an amazing film. So they're taking these big swings. And so like if the Sony verse isn't that great, they're still using different characters. There's no repetition in my eyes, so it feels different.
There better not be any repetition because I cannot sit through another Morbius.
Oh yeah, the rotten stepchild of the 78 Spider.
Yeah, that was not. We don't talk about Morbius. That's the one I just don't talk about.
Good. Good.
Like it never happened.
Never happened. I still had fun watching it, but it just wasn't like it's not a movie that I'll put on again, like so bad it's good type of thing. Like that's what I consider Venom. But yeah, Morbius is not it.
Like I'm in the boat that like I didn't like either Venom film, but Tom Hardy is great, and he like it's clear he's having a lot of fun with the role. But my biggest problem with the second one was like there was like no plot in that movie, like almost nothing happened in that movie. It was just Tom Hardy being Tom Hardy and Venom. It was like really short too. It was like 90 minutes or something like that.
I know.
And like nothing
Yeah.
happened. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was something.
It was mostly like them having couples therapy.
Also, I should point
which I
out,
love.
I'm an idiot. You said you were anticipated Stefano for Ballerina. I was thinking of Abigail, the like ballerina vampire movie.
Yes.
Based there, which I did see the trailer for. I have not seen the trailer for Ballerina yet. Yeah.
Abigail looks kind of. I don't know when that's coming out, but that looks wild.
It looks fun. It looks like
I think April or
if they
March
get
for
it
April, I
right
think.
and they don't take themselves too seriously, like that could be fun. I like those kind of like where characters are like stuck in a house or a small environment trying to survive against something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's April.
true.
Okay. So I was just looking at another movie that's coming out that same day as Abigail, and I'm gonna shout it out. I'm gonna continue the Henry Cavill train here. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is another
What
movie
is
I'm
that?
very excited for.
It's
The Guy
never even
Ritchie's
heard of it.
movie.
I forgot.
Never heard of
I've
it.
heard he
Never
has
heard of
another
Guy
movie
Ritchie's
coming out.
spy movie.
Oh, that one,
And
yeah.
Basically, it's about like this secret British organization during World War II, and it's based on an actual spy network that was formed by Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond books, and Winston Churchill. It's got Henry Cavill, Asa Gonzalez, Alan Richson, Henry Golding, Carrie Elwes, and directed by Guy Ritchie. So I'm willing to forgive him for Operation Fortune and get hyped for this.
I'm very like hot and cold with Guy Ritchie as a director. Like I feel like I'll watch something, I'll be like, that was a lot of fun. He's really good. He really knows how to make fun movies. And then you'll watch something else and
then he breaks your heart again.
Oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
The King Arthur movie that he did was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like,
But I love The Gentleman.
The Gentleman was good.
Gentleman was
Arguably
good.
my
I like
favorite
The
of
Gentleman.
his.
But not Aladdin, guys. Come on. What is this? What is this?
I did not mind
much
Aladdin.
better.
Like,
See,
of the-
I like-
of the
much better
Disney
than had any right to
live-action
be as well.
remakes,
I
that's
agree.
one of the
Yeah.
better ones.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I
agree.
agree. Definitely.
I think she was expecting us to be like, ugh, and you're like, oh no, we liked it.
Good.
I mean, it's not a
honestly,
it's not a high bar to overcome looking at all of their live action remakes, but it is one of the better
Facts.
ones.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's just surprising coming from him. That's why it's like, oh, Guy
Yeah.
Ritchie to Aladdin. Like, okay.
I just think he's better doing things like this than he is like the next Hercules or something.
Oh, agreed. Like his spy stuff's so fun. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding? It's just, yeah.
It's like more in his wheelhouse, I think.
Yeah. But he needs money to make the spy
Yeah.
ones. So
I
that's
know.
why he's taking
Seems like
these.
he's still getting theatrical releases for everything, even when they bomb. So,
Yes.
They
True.
love him. He sells.
Love him,
He
yeah.
sells. That's a good thing,
respect,
right?
respect.
Yeah.
Even directors do paycheck movies, and he's one of them. So,
Yeah. That's true.
all right. I usually am not a fan of long in development sequels, but I am really stoked for Beetlejuice 2. Just because I'm a big Tim Burton fan.
Ooh.
Big Tim Burton fan. I love Michael Keaton. I'm excited to see him back in that role as well. And I love that they're bringing back like Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara. And I'm also excited that Jenna Ortega is going to be in the mix too. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a little worried because it's been so long since that first one came out, and sometimes that could really hurt. You know, it's like, hey, like this should have happened a long time ago. But with all the principal people involved, like I have faith that it will be good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, legacy sequels are tricky. Like just because
They
of
are.
the amount of years in between of like people praising and like having the original as one of their favorite movies of all time, and you've got the decades in between of hype and anticipation, and it's more often a letdown than it is good. But like obviously we've seen recent examples
This
like Maverick that
honestly has potential.
disprove that rule.
Yeah.
Love Maverick. I have a confession. I do not like the original Beetlejuice.
Oh, that there was the
I
the
really
A hot
like the
take. We
original
got another hot
Beetlejuice.
take. Yes.
I
that
just
was-
saw it like when I was like much older, like a couple of years ago for the first time, and I still really liked
same.
it.
And I couldn't, I don't know. I didn't understand it. I don't get why people like it, but enjoy the sequel. I'm not gonna be that person. But I'm just like, you guys do you. But yeah, I didn't get it.
I think it's one of those if you grew up with it, it's like kind of it may you
Yeah.
feel differently
Definitely
about
one
it.
of
I
those
think.
Yeah.
things that like
Definitely.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in probably
Sure.
over a decade, and there's a lot of childhood nostalgia going on.
Don't
So-
watch it.
I think it.
Don't watch
it's
it.
a fun one though.
Don't watch it.
No, because like I did the same thing with Space Jam. Like I watched it as a kid. Like I loved
Oh
Space
no,
Jam
that
as
does
a
not.
kid.
No,
And then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, I liked this. It's like, what did it? It's
that
like,
doesn't hold up
no,
at all. I did
it
the same
doesn't.
thing with Space
Dude,
Jam.
like it sucks. Doesn't
Oh,
hold
man.
up. So like, keep that
You're like,
nostalgia.
what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm scared to do that with
Oh
Hook.
man.
Yeah, I
heard
haven't watched
people
No,
Beetlejuice
it's still,
in a long
it's,
time, so
it's still
I'm-
it's still good. It's still good. I will die
Hook's
on
still
that
good.
hill.
Okay, good.
It like hurts my soul that even Steven Spielberg is like, yeah. one of
Yeah,
my best
he
movies.
recently
Like,
said he was like that's the least favorite thing. I've ever
No,
done.
Hook is great. Come
and I'm like,
on.
what the hell
I'm
do you
not a
know? She's like,
fan.
I'm scared. Like, even though he directed it, I'm like, what? That too? Damn.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, I
Maybe
watched
that.
Hook. I watched Hook for the first time last year, and it just didn't.
Oh, see,
Didn't
that's
do it
another
for
example.
me.
I think like if you grew up with it, I think you're right. There is like this kind of like nostalgia that's attached to it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched it.
There
I
is.
think I watched it 2 years ago. The last time I watched it, and I still love it. But it is one of those things when I'm watching it, even as an adult, you get this kind of like childlike exuberance while you're watching it.
Yes.
So I think some of
that's
that
fair.
is still attached to like my feelings for it, but it's okay. I mean, it has a really
Same.
rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. And when I looked it up, I was like, Jesus Christ, man!
I know.
Like, not good, not good.
A movie that I hope is still coming out this year, which was recently pulled, is
Oh,
Mickey
no.
17.
Yes.
Mickey 17.
Yeah.
Bung Hive. Yeah.
I had it on my I had it on mine, and I took it off because I was like, wait, is it coming out in 2024? So it was like a question mark.
I
Yeah,
hope it
I
comes
don't know.
out at
I'm
least in the
holding out
fall.
I'm holding out hope. There's more of a chance that this comes out than Spider-Verse at this point, but like
I
I'm
know.
gonna be optimistic that they're both still coming out. I know Spider-Verse isn't, but just let me have this.
I'm gonna feel horrible like going to Godzilla times Kong the same day this was supposed to come out. I'm like,
Supposed to come
bad
out.
trade, bro.
That
Bad trade.
that is gonna taint your like view of that movie. You're like, oh, this could have been Mickey 17.
It's gonna be Bong Joon-ho, Robert Pattinson.
Oh man.
I'm really pumped for this movie too.
I'm excited.
Everything about it, the actors. There's a movie that I kind of reminded me of another A24 movie with Robert Pattinson, Afterlife, which was another space movie
You
that
mean
he
High
did.
Life?
Yeah.
Or High Life, the High Life. That's it. High Life. Yeah.
I kind of hated that movie.
I didn't really like it, but just it gave me that
The vibe.
sense, that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. I want to read the book actually before I watch Mickey 17. And if there's no actual release date, then I have time to read it. So like that's good. But yeah, I want to read it. So it
What I'm
looks
hoping
awesome.
for with the delay is that they push it to like fall, like festival time. Maybe they think it's something really good and they want to
Yeah.
release it around then. So that's what I'm hoping for, and that we still get it this year.
Agreed. As a Broadway baby, I am very excited for Wicked Part 1 to come out with my girl Ariana Grande as Glinda and then Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. I think they're going to smash it out of the park. Everything that I've seen for behind the scenes of Wicked has looked incredible, and I think who's the director again? John M. Chu,
John M.
I
Chu.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be great. Again, it's being split into two parts, and if you're not someone who enjoys the musical, then I don't think people are going to understand why it's being split into two parts, but they want to use all, I think, 30 songs in the soundtrack. And you can't, it's really hard to cut songs from that musical. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they can translate it to film. But I'm beyond excited for Wicked. It's just, oh, it's going to be so awesome. It's going to fill my heart with so much joy watching it on the big screen. So I'm excited.
I did not realize that this was John M. Chu, which has me even more excited because I really, really liked In the Heights.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
loved
Same. I
it.
liked
I
In the
liked
Heights
it
too.
a lot. I liked it a
I
lot.
loved In the Heights,
Yeah.
and I was so mad it didn't do that well. I was like, why? I thought I was like, why aren't other people seeing what I'm seeing?
It was
I guess
it was a rough year for big musicals because we had that and we had West Side Story in the same year and both bombed at the box
Didn't
office.
do well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Which is why some musicals now are like hide the fact in their trailers.
Yeah,
that
they
they're
have to
musicals.
I know.
Oh,
I'm like, that's not
wrong
going to help
campaign.
anyone either, fam. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
know.
Like,
I
don't
know.
surprise the audience afterwards. Like,
Wonka kind of did
Yeah.
that, and then that second Mean
Yeah.
Girls trailer, I was like, you should probably. And then someone's
Yeah.
like, well,
The
there's a
Color
musical
Purple
note in
kinda
the title.
did it? No.
Oh no, that was like a little bit more upfront, but the Mean Girls
Okay.
one was. I was like, this looks like a straight up remake of the movie. And you're not really letting anyone know this is a musical. It's like the bait and switch is kind of funny that they're like, yeah, they'll figure it out when they go see it.
So y'all stole, I was gonna say Mickey 17 or Furiosa, but nice job shouting that out already. So I'll go with Gladiator 2, which is a sequel
That
that
was on mine too. Yeah.
I'm
You
really
stole mine.
apprehensive about. Okay, you just went. You could have said it.
You could have
Like,
waited.
I didn't
life
know.
is
Okay.
about life is about choices.
It is choices.
This is one of many sequels where I was like, okay, why is this being made? But I think the fact that they're just probably investing a lot into this and gonna make it a really big experience. And the first one's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm really excited. The main saving grace for me as to like why I'm excited for this is Paul Mescal. What an exceptional actor we've got in our hands.
Yeah.
That like I think he's the perfect choice to lead this movie. And you also got Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal. So, Ridley Scott's been hit or miss. I thought Napoleon was fine. Wasn't crazy on House of Gucci, but if we get a little more character intimacy the way we did with The Last Duel and those sort of like duels, and I feel like it had a better Swords and Sandals vibe that I hope he also brings back from the first film. And I'm just glad they didn't do something stupid and resurrected Russell Crowe with like some sort of magic, whatever.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I'm glad they didn't go that route.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
Or he's like a cloud, like in The Lion King, where it's like Mufasa, he like shows up as a cloud or something.
That'd be amazing. I want that now. I want that Gladiator to come out. But yeah, I'm really excited. I actually watched Gladiator again for the first time because I watched it as a kid, but then it just doesn't stick with you. I don't know why. There's certain films that don't stick with you because you don't understand them as a kid. But I watched it again and I was like, oh my God, this thing slaps. It still holds up. So that just kind of got me really hyped for this sequel. And as you mentioned, like Paul Mescal is gonna blow everyone away because he's been doing like indie stuff. He's like an indie darling right now. And I think after watching, well, personally, after watching All of Us Strangers, which like brought me to tears, that movie was brilliant.
Yeah, beautiful,
I thought,
beautiful movie.
yeah, it was so good. So I'm like, you know what? Paul's on this upward trajectory and I'm like ready for people to absolutely love him after watching Gladiator 2. So I'm very excited. Hopefully Ridley just goes back to basics and he doesn't do what he did with Napoleon. We want some color on that screen, fam.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was thinking.
I don't want these muted tones. Like, don't give me that. Like, let's just avoid certain things. Like, please go back to basics and what made the original like so incredible. So just do that with Gladiator 2, please. Yeah.
I am going to go with a movie that I didn't really want in the first place, but now that the trailer's out, it's got me kind of hyped. Is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think the last trilogy was so exceptionally done on its own, and I remember them announcing this, and I was just like, no, we don't need more. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But I like that it's years later. They're kind of going back to, the original movies where you had like the apes that are now in full control and the humans are, kind of enslaved by them, and you're getting a different take on it, which is nice.
Yeah. If it's like a mashup between the two generations of apes, which is what it seems like it's happening, the new generation with technology with like the Caesar era, that technology with the original Planet of the Apes storyline that takes place hundreds of years in the future, and apes have now overrun the planet. Really interesting to see what happens. My only downfall for this movie is that Caesar is not in it, and Caesar was a big selling
point. What do you think? Why do you think he's not in it?
What do you mean why he's not in it?
Spoilers.
Did you see the last one?
Well, yeah, but like it's just like I would love to see Andy Serkis back. Andy Serkis back in some capacity, whether
they can pull a Russell Crowe and resurrect him,
right? So
put him in the sky.
Right now, there's no selling point for this movie. That's what I'm kind of. There's no selling point for this movie. They have no big actors. Really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know any of the cast, so they need something. So Andy Serkis was such a huge name that really sold that trilogy, and right now there's really nothing pushing this trilogy or this new movie. So that's the only fear that I have.
No, agreed. And I think it's a good opportunity to the director. I can't recall his name, but he did the Maze Runner trilogy, which like they weren't great movies, but they showed a lot of promise. They were, for the most part, well directed. So I like that he's getting a crack at another kind of big IP.
All right. Actually, what's interesting too? Because we mentioned a lot of sequels. I was reading somewhere out of the 90 plus movies that are coming out this year, they said 34 of them are sequels, reboots, or spinoffs. So like that is why there are so many, I guess, on our list too. I got another sequel. I guess I'm gonna go with the Joker sequel. I don't want to butcher the name, so if anyone can say it correctly.
I'll do. I'll do.
Thank you for the assist.
Imagine like you're buying the ticket and the person working at the theater is like, no, you said it wrong.
You said it wrong. Get out of here. When the first one came out, there was like all this talk like, hey, this is standalone, we're not gonna make another one. And I was cool with that because I thought it worked for me like on its own. And then when they announced they were doing another one, I was like, I thought you guys said that you weren't going to do one. I know $1 billion changes a lot of minds, so that's probably why we're getting it. But then I was just intrigued by what they were doing with it, like the whole kind of musical aspect that they're putting into it as well. I'm here for Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I think that'll be really fun and interesting.
So excited.
I think what has it on my list. So I'm more intrigued by what it can be because I don't really know exactly what they're doing with it, and that is what intrigues me the most, is that it should be pretty surprising, if anything.
I'm so excited for it. I feel like when Joker came out, everyone loved it, and then slowly when they processed what the movie was, people just started hating on it like months later for absolutely no reason because it got all those accolades and it got nominated. Everyone's like, it shouldn't be nominated for Best Picture. Like, it's all of that stuff. And I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, that's what ended up happening with it. Do I think it overperformed? Absolutely. But it's still nice to see, I guess, comic book recognition at these big award shows. I think that's really important there. And I think people failed to see that as well. Obviously, do I wish it was another film other than Joker? Of course. But Joaquin is like incredible in that. And now that we have Lady Gaga in this, it's going to be a musical. Like, there's so many things going for this sequel that I find it hard to believe that people are still going to hate on it. Like, I don't want it to happen. Can we just not have discourse surround the second Joker?
Can we all just go?
Can we hold
the
hands?
person next to you and move on with your life?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I think the first movie I think was a decent movie with an incredible performance, and I think that's what a lot of people got caught up on, is like, oh my god, he's so good. But then when you actually like sit and look at the movie, like you start poking holes in it. But I think the saving grace for the second one, and like I didn't want the second one because I was like, oh, they said they were gonna do a standalone, but hey, money happened and now they're gonna do a sequel. But I think it being a musical is a really smart choice because it kind of justifies its existence. They're doing something different and they're challenging themselves where they could have just made a straight up sequel.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's gonna change the game for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited just for Lady Gaga because everyone's like, a lot of people are against her as Harley Quinn too, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah,
out of everyone, like, I love Margot Robbie, but if you're gonna give it to anybody else, like, yes.
And
I agree with that.
And if she doesn't win an Oscar for it, she will go for blood in something else, and I just want her to win something already because
she has an Oscar.
Well, no, for actress. You know what I mean? For acting, yeah, obviously, like, I understand she has an Oscar, but like, she's been going full out.
She's been going for it.
Yeah,
she's been chasing it.
She's been chasing it, so this is just give it to her. It's okay, just give it to her. Let it happen.
All right, Ben, you're fourth.
Oh my god, I'm like running out of movies here. What else do I have? Let's go Hitman. Yeah, sure, Hitman. I think I'd like to think we're all on the Glenn Powell train here. He's made a big splash in Hollywood the last few years, and he's somebody that I always enjoy. Obviously, Richard Linklater makes great films, so I don't know a ton about this. I know some people got to see it at TIFF. I wasn't fortunate enough to see it at TIFF, but any of those who did seem to really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna love it. You're going to love it. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, it just sucks because I put it in my top 10 this year and I couldn't technically put it in my top 10 because it's not out yet. But I think you guys are gonna love Glenn Powell 10 times more than you already do. So I'm looking forward to everyone else watching it. It's gonna be fun. Do we have movies left? I don't think so. God. I said that. Okay, I'm gonna this is gonna just freak people out. I'm really excited for If, which is John Krasinski's film about the imaginary friend. I wrote it down because I'm like, you know what? It looks so cute. It's so different for Krasinski to do something like that. And I think Ryan Reynolds is just a joy to watch. So I'm excited. I saw the little teaser and it looks really cute. The animals look cute. It's kind of like if Monsters Inc. came to life. It's what it feels like. But yeah, I think it's going to be really sentimental. Of course, like, as adults, we maybe had an imaginary friend, or we had like a really stuffed animal that we used all the time, and like, that's the connective tissue there. And I'm probably gonna cry, knowing me. I'm a very emotional person. So I think it'll be really special, that one.
Yeah, what a complete 180 from the Quiet Place movies.
I know, yeah.
But I like that. I dig that he's doing something different. He's not sticking with the genre that we've come to know him for over the last couple of years, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked for him.
And one of two movies about imaginary friends coming out this year.
Wait.
There's a horror movie.
The horror movie.
Yeah,
imaginary.
Oh, that was horrible. Don't even bring that up.
That trailer's dumb. I'm sorry. Like, I sat there in the theater. I'm like, what am I supposed to be watching? I'm like, thank you for thinking outside of the box, but like, you know.
They played it when I saw Hunger Games, then they played it again when I saw Saltburn.
Yeah.
And both times I wanted to just
Slap it, slap it.
When I saw the main character in If, it kind of reminded me of Grimace from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
This is just clever McDonald's marketing.
Yeah.
I have two that I really want to go with.
Okay.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Don't steal my last potential
You know
movie
what?
that I have on my list.
Trust your heart.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the one that I think others are less likely to pick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah.
Because-
Four.
I'm
Good
a
choice.
very
Good
big
choice.
Kung Fu Panda guy. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy goes so hard. So like as a celebrity, so I have a really soft spot for these movies. I think they're awesome movies from the first to the third, and it could have been great on its own, but like the fact that they're continuing it, I'm still excited. I think there's still potential. And Jack Black, both him and this, and him in School of Rock, him as a celebrity was just a formative part of my childhood. So as long as he's Poe, as long as they bring that Jack Black Kung Fu Panda energy and make the animation lively, you know, it doesn't look like the best or even the second best in the series, but I think it'll be a good time.
Man, you make me feel so old. You're like, oh, Kung Fu Pandas were a part of my childhood. I'm like, I was an adult when the first one came
Yeah.
out. I'm like, oh no.
Same.
For us, it's like Shrek. You know what I mean? It's like we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pick Shrek. It's like it's not
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda.
We were fully formed adults when we saw this.
I think that's why I also never got into Kung Fu Panda, because it was just I was older and I was not in that phase. So
Have you at least seen them?
I watched the first one, but I don't know. I didn't really care for it. I don't know.
No, the
I-
second
I
one's the
really
best.
like them.
Unpopular opinion.
I really liked all of that. I liked the first two more than I liked the third, but I think like
Yeah.
as a trilogy, it was pretty strong overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I have to watch them. I have to binge them. Why don't I do that now? I'll just binge them before the fourth
There
one.
you go.
because It's
Before
a,
the
it's
new
a
one.
necessity. Yeah, it's
There
a
you go.
necessity
Kung
now.
Fu Marathon.
Kung Fu Marathon. And then Jack Black's gonna be like my #1 actor on Letterboxd this year. It's gonna be perfect.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which one I want to pick. All right, I'm gonna go with A Quiet Place Day One. I'm really looking forward to it because I loved A Quiet Place, and then I was like, it did well. It was really good. All it did great work, and then I was like, hey, they're not gonna need a sequel to that, and they made one, and then it turned out to be good too. So I was like, all right, we didn't need it, but it was also pretty good. And then when they announced this, I was like, all right, we don't need this spin-off movie, but it might turn out to be good too. So I mean, it's based on a story that John Krasinski came up with. So like, I'm looking forward to what they do with it. I'm intrigued by it in the same way that I'm intrigued by the Joker movie, where it's like I don't really know what they are going to really do with it. That might be different for what they've done already, but I mean, two times up before, it's turned out pretty good. So I'm looking forward to it.
I love both Quiet Place movies. Like I think they work really well. Like I saw the first one in theaters, and then I watched because the second one came out, was it 2021?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Was it? So it was
Yeah.
during COVID, and I know theaters were closed here, so I went to see the second one at the drive-in, and it was such a cool drive-in movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a good time, and I watched watching them back to back too works really well because one just leads directly into the sequel. Like it picks up right. I love when movies do that. They'll pick up right where the last one left off and just keep that momentum going. And I really, really enjoyed the second one.
I liked what they did in the second one, but I feel like the execution was better in the first one. I don't know. I feel like the first one it was so different and so unique, especially with the sound design, that I think he was trying too hard with part two. So I think that's where the detachment was for me.
I'm going to go with a movie I just watched the trailer for the other day, and it got me pretty fired up. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not just a well-cut trailer, is Love Lies Bleeding. I think looks
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
friggin'
yeah.
awesome. I think
Yes.
that looks so good and so unique
Stellar.
and so interesting. And, it's A24, so, there's going to be creative freedom going on, which I'm super excited for.
And it's
Yeah.
Rose Glass
Yeah.
who directed Saint Maud.
I'm
This is
so excited.
really good.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
like Saint Maud.
I'm
I felt
torn on
dark.
Saint Maud. I really like the ending
It's
of
really
Saint
dark.
Maud.
The
want,
ending
like, a
of Same
super
Mod.
disturbing
Yeah.
ending.
The
It's
ending's
like,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But that
We'll
the
watch
poster
it like
for me,
eyes wide open.
yeah, like I was
Yeah,
sitting there
like,
by
whoa.
myself at like 10 at night. I'm like, what did I do to sit here by myself and watch it? Like I shouldn't have done that. But the poster for Love Lies Bleeding got me before the trailer. Because like I saw that poster, I'm like, I am sold. It's such like an old-fashioned like 70s vibe to that, which I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed. But yeah, that trailer, like it slapped. When anything with Kristen Stewart now, I'm just like, girl, you're doing really great things. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
love her. So it's gonna be a good time. I agree, Ben. I'm really hyped for it.